Hey, what's up guys? So I have a demonstration for you on Ludwig's Holy Blade and its ability to generate a 2-hit stun lock on an opponent. This is how you go about doing it. The L1 to R1 to R1 transformation attack. More specifically from one-handed to two-handed mode. And what you're going to see in the first half of the video pretty much is just demo after demo of the stun lock itself. I wanted to go into a little bit more depth than just you hit L1 and then R1 and then R1 and then they fall over, the end. About at the halfway point, I'll start talking a little bit more in depth on some of my preferred follow-ups for the attack, as well as some of the scenarios that I found it to be most effective so far. Apologies, here's something I definitely want to talk about. Apologies if someone out there has already talked about this and the information is out there. I certainly couldn't find anything, definitely not on YouTube. So apologies if I did miss something. Because I know there's going to be someone like, this was day one information, because I've had that happen before. But anyway, I do hope that this is useful info to someone out there. But here's the thing with this attack. I have found that, yeah, it is really devastating, primarily just because the weapon hits like a truck. But for the vast majority, I have found it to be far more effective in 2v1 and 3v1 type scenarios, and you'll see a lot of that throughout the video, a lot of classic turn and burn like that, because more often than not in the 2v1 and 3v1 your opponents are going to be chasing you down, and it's going to be far more likely that you're going to be able to catch them off guard with this attack. Whereas in a 1v1, especially, and I'd like to stress this, especially against a defensive type player, which there's a lot of, or against someone who really just knows what they're doing, it's going to be a lot more difficult to land, and thus should be used more sparingly, especially against that defensive player, because, first of all, they're not going to let you get close enough anyway, but they're going to be going for a lot of parries, and it's really easy to parry this attack because it's so, it's just telegraphed so clearly. But at this point, I would like to talk about some of the preferred follow-ups for the attack, because more often than not, especially in the random invasion type scenario, after you hit someone with the combo, they're gonna probably back up and look to heal. So as a result, I wanted to find the best way to get my gun back out and ready. And it didn't take me long to figure out that just switching off to my secondary weapon was the ideal way for me to go about doing that, right? Because simply hitting L1 again and trying to transform the Ludwigs can often result in a transformation attack if you use it, if you press L1 too quickly, rather. So just switching off to the secondary immediately was what I found to be best when it comes to getting your gun out and ready. Now, here's an example of an opponent that kind of gave me the time to transform my weapon back to one hand, but that's not something that I've seen happen too often. More often than not, you hit them with a stun, most of their health goes away, and they back off and start looking to heal. But this is the last fight, guys. Oh, I want to talk about this real quickly before I leave. Someone asked whether this same technique, being the L1 to R1 to R1 transformation, will work with other weapons. And the answer is, I don't know yet. But I hope this was useful, and I'll see you guys on the next one.